Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It's Saturday, so we are here for my weekly roundup. Yay! Sherry, I now think of you at the beginning of every video and say I had best sing for Sherry. So my weekly roundup is where we go through my week in crafting. We talk about my whips, works in progress, and FOs, finished objects. We also talk about the book I'm reading, but I forgot to bring it in once again. So I'll talk a little bit about it at the end, but not much. What else? That's pretty much it. I missed last week, so there's a couple of holdovers of things that I had finished last week, but didn't share with you. So let us hop right in. So last week, my obsession with the dragon eggs continued. I did remember to grab the pattern this time. It is called Dragon Egg Dice Bag by Cindy DeVries. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. Focus. There you go. So this is what I followed, except she doesn't tell you how many times she goes around. I have found 8 rounds of the dragon scales of the crocodile stitch is what looks right to me, but you use your judgment. And then at the end, she tells you to just stop on a crocodile stitch row. I don't. I do 1 row of single crochets around the top, and then I do 1 row of single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way around to make the little holes for the laces. And then for the chain, she doesn't tell you how to do the draw cord. I just chain however many I want and do a single crochet back down it. That's all I do. If you want, you can also do that, but do a slip stitch. That also looks very nice. If you're extra fancy and want that real kind of curved I-cord looking, do your slip stitch or your single crochet in the little backside bumps. That's my best description of how I've changed this pattern. But this is the basic pattern I used. And here is my second. I forgot to say. I did not weave in an end. On this one, instead of using a 5mm, I used a 4.5mm crochet hook. It did make the holes a little smaller. As a dice bag, I would still have concerns with D4s falling through the pyramids, the itty bitty pyramids, but I would think above a D4 you'd be fine, and if you had larger dice you'd be fine. But there you go. It's so hard to see. It's that cool, I got this from Hobium. It's a Gazelle rock and roll. What color number is this? When I bought this, Brian said it looked like a beetle, and I thought it was super cool. I'm not seeing, oh there it is, color 13951. But it's black and like a shine. It really does look like a beetle. Is it carpus? Is that how you say it? I used just over 1 ball in that. So I'm claiming 2 labels. I'll tell you why I'm claiming 2 labels, because I used what I had left of the purple to make this ribbed hat, and then I just finished the hat with some green, and it used probably 2/3 of a green ball, and then the other, everything else went into this. I had like 11 inches left when I was done doing the pull cord, the drawstring. Chomps has claimed this. So Mama still doesn't have a dragon egg bag, but also Mama's a little sick of making them right now, so they're going to go on hiatus. This hat, Bingo has her eye on, so I'll probably give it to her. I wasn't planning really anything. I just wanted to use up what was left of the purple And I thought it kind of went well with the green. So those are 2 finished objects. I used my new yarn bowl. I have 3 balls of the rock and roll left. I could very easily make one of these dragon egg bags for me, but I'm also kind of like, my plan was to make that dragon egg bag and then use the remaining rock and roll to make a hat and cowl set. I still believe there is enough yarn here to do a hat and cowl set, but I also feel like I've had my fun with this yarn, so I think I am going to just drop it into the giveaway area back there, and someone else can have some fun with it. It's a very pretty color. I really liked it. And yeah, so there we go. This I'll put with my binders, and the bowl will have to go back into our room. Okay, the other finished object I have is I made him. So I finished my, in the book it is Penelope. Chomps, this was Chomps' pick. The book I meant, it's Crochet Cute Critters by Sarah Zimmerman. Last year was my year at amigurumi. I was trying to better my skills by making everything in this book. I obviously didn't finish, so I keep going. We are in the peas making Penelope the penguin. This is what Sarah's looked like. Chomps wanted his to look like Peso from the Octonauts. He did not want a hat, however. So, here we go. I gave him his little blue collar. And the feet and the beak are yellow. Peso has a white tummy. So I just stole, I didn't steal. She says you'll learn and you can use the techniques to build on each other. So the alligator at the beginning had a tummy patch. That is the tummy patch I used. And there we go. He actually wanted black eyes. So he thought it was more true to Peso. So there we go. Peso is complete. Pretty proud of this one. Erin's starting to improvise. Bingo is up next with the queen bee. What is its name? Is it Queenie the bee? Literally? Quinn the queen bee. And she has not told me the colors or anything, but that's up next. I don't know if I'm going to hop right into working on that one. We'll see. Oh no, I should. I should, shouldn't I? Okay, so what else? I have whips now. That was my 3 finished objects. My works in progress are my Aberdeen wool, pickle jar cowl. This is not the pickle jar cowl. I made it already. If you buy the pickle jar, I got 2 patterns. I got the original cowl and then a bias scarf. I am making the bias scarf. I made the cowl, used the entire pickle jar, bought a refill. Now I'm making the bias scarf. Here is, so when we spoke last, Bingo had picked, so I was on this one, Bingo had picked this bright, I did that, and then I got this blue tones worked in, so did continue working on that. Here's the scarf in all of its glory, and as you can see it is getting quite long, so I do think I am going to do the pattern says you should use all 40. I'm going to just use 20 and see how long it is. I feel like 20 is going to be well enough. I either just finished my 13th or 14th mini. So we're getting there if I'm stopping at 20. And then I'll just make another one to finish off the jar. Why not? It's fun. What else did I work on? I continued to work on, Peso, I'm going to put you back in your bag. Thank you. To work on my star blanket. It's a 6-day star. I'm using 2 anniversary cakes. I am nearly done with my first anniversary cake. I don't want to pull too hard on that stitch marker. Where is it? Oh, come on. There it is. I'm showing you the wrong side. Okay, there's the right side of the work. And we want the stitch marker to be over there so I don't yank on it too hard. Here it is. It is pretty big. It is beautiful. It's so soft and cozy. Brian was looking at it today. I was like, you could be done. I was like, yeah, but I have another anniversary cake and it's going in the blanket. So right now I'd say it's probably a good throw size, but I want it bigger. And you know, in an expanding blanket like this, each row is longer, each row takes more yarn. So even though I'm nearly done with the first cake, it's not going to be twice as big as this diameter wise. My best guesstimate is it's going to be somewhere around a third bigger, if that makes any sense. But I think it's going to be a good size, cozy snuggle blanket. And it makes me happy. So there we go. Progress. I did hit a bit of a surprising snag with Sophie today. I am working on the butterfly band of Sophie. If you're familiar with Sophie's Universe, it is my Tackle It Tuesday project. In the butterfly band, they want you to use all of the same color to kind of keep it unified. And I see that, and I would like to do that. However, I just ran out of the yarn I thought I would never run out of. The Pink Salt Pound of Love from Lion Brand. So Lion Brand is having a sale. So I went ahead and bought another one. But it's going to take a while to get to me. I fell asleep after taking a shower. There is nothing better, in my opinion, than having a lazy Saturday, taking your shower, drying off by curling up in your bed with your book and reading for a bit. Should you fall asleep, it's a good thing your husband's here to take care of the kids. But I did fall asleep, so my hair on this side just wants to do whatever it wants to do, and I can't control it. So yeah, I am on a bit of a hiatus with Sophie, even though it's her 2 weeks. So I think until my yarn comes, I am going to pick up another whip, probably Brian's almond stitch shawl collar bod sweater that I had been working on, and put a little work in on that. It's Memorial Day. They're having a sale. I got like 30% off. It was fine. But I did have to laugh because how many of those pounds of love did I get in mystery boxes and gave away? And I had a lot. I never thought I'd go through it. I didn't even finish. I'm on the 3rd round of the butterfly band and I ran out. So, yikes. But yeah, it surprised me how much yarn it's eating right now. But that's perfect because I am using it as a scrap can. The only problem is I don't have another super light pink that I think would have the same effect, at least that I see right now. In my storage, is there maybe? Yeah, probably I have like a light ballet pink of something tucked away, but with the sale going on, I was very, very good and only bought that 1 pound of love and checked out. So we're good. I am doing my best to be responsible with bringing in the new yarn with the existing issues I am having, which, as you know from my Yarn Management Mondays, we talk about that. So yeah, Sophie's a bit of a problem right now. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how long the yarn takes to get to me as to what I do. Maybe, we'll see. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. I have only one more whip, which is a new project. So, this is my sock bag. I pulled out that yarn and that leafy sock pattern and said, you know, I'm totally gonna start this, right? I did. So I'm making the Leafy Lacy Socks by Woolly_Waves, who is Darcy Anderson. I've looked this up. It's not available on Ravelry. I don't know where she uses @Woolly_Waves as her moniker. I did go ahead and cake up that green yarn I showed you, and I started it. I normally do a 10-row rib for my start. This pattern wanted you to do a picot cuff. Erin does not want to do that, so Erin is not doing that. Erin did a 5-row because that would more closely mimic the length of her picot cuff. And then, so after that, you're supposed to knit even 1 round and then start the chart. So I've made the cuff, knit even 1 round, and started the chart, barely. I'm on the row where I would start the chart. There you go. How long will that take? I don't know. It's a for Erin sock, so it's not a high priority project, but I was feeling a little itchy because I didn't have a sock on the needles. 2023 was my year of socks, and I actually completed my very first pair of socks, which I was very proud of. And since then, there has been very few times there has not been a sock on my needles. So my plans are to do this sock and then start doing the Christmas socks, so there is no rush or pressure for me at the end of the year. I am not like Shannon from Another Yarn. I don't try to do 10 socks a year to give away. Last year, Bingo asked me in like October if I would make the family Christmas socks, and I said yes. So this year for Mother's Day, I said, Brian, if you want to get me yarn, can you guys go pick out the yarn you want for your socks at Christmas? And that's what they did. So, and cute little Bingo picked out this, which she had already picked out a couple weeks before. So Mommy and Bingo are going to have matching socks. And then I've got the socks, the yarn Brian picked out and the yarn Chomps picked out. So that will be fun. And like I said, I don't want any pressure or anything. I did mention, I didn't know. Can you see this? I moved this. You can't see it good. I have a folding chair in here. It's what Brian sits on if he's in, but it was in my way. I was trying to get the yarn wall to get ready for Yarn Management Monday. I'm trying to look for my binder, which should be right here, but it's not right here. So I don't know what's going on. I was going to check to see if that was the final sock in the... This is going to bug me. How does a gigantic yellow... Oh, it's over there. How does it disappear? It didn't disappear. Erin, in her wisdom, moved it over there. Guys, like cleaning, you think is going to be helpful sometimes, and it just isn't. But there you go. I'm blabbering now. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I would love to know what you're working on. Are you starting on your holiday projects? Do you do projects for each year? Do you have a tradition? I like this idea of having a tradition of making socks for the holidays. And I can only hope that I get to the point where the kiddos have spouses or significant others and I can include them in the tradition, you know, assuming the kiddos aren't disdainful of mommy's handmade items. They are still in the we love it phase. I have a feeling they're going to be in the love it phase, and then they're going to go through the angsty preteen teen years where it's uncool and they don't want it, and then they will come back to it. That is what I am expecting, but as long as they are in the acceptance phase, I am going to take full advantage. Full advantage! Bingo desperately wants me to make her a cooking apron. She loves to cook. it's near the end of the year, so they have not been bringing home library books. So we haven't had any other cookbooks coming home from the library. But next year, I kind of am expecting it. Okay, so I was going to talk a little bit about the book I'm reading. I'm currently reading The Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark by Carl Sagan. It is a really good book. It's a non-fiction book, which is a rare book for me. I tend to prefer my reading to be fiction and more escapist from the real world. It is advocating critical thinking skills and concern that that is a skill that is lacking or being lost even amongst scientists, which I read a couple chapters where he talks about some scientists he has interactions with, and it shows some disbelief in the way they have addressed issues. Basically, the book is going through some pseudoscience issues and talking about how to apply the scientific method, critical thinking, to find an answer. It talks about the existence of aliens. Right now, he spent a number of chapters on alien abduction stories and any truth behind that. And it's a really interesting read. I think he makes a lot of good points with this alien abduction. So I was a total X-Files girly when I was in high school. I loved me the X-Files. Actually, X-Files went through high school and college for me. So a big formative part of my childhood was the X-Files. But I loved this show. I was never like, I believe in alien abductions. But it's fun to because this book was written in 96, so it's kind of about that time. Yeah, because the X-Files craze would have been going at the time he wrote this book. It's interesting. He pretty convincingly brings an argument that connects, like, witch hunts and alien abduction and recovered memories all together in a really interesting way that I would not have thought of. So it's fun to read such a... I don't even know what I was going to say. It's fun to be in the world of Carl Sagan again and see how his mind works. He was such a fabulous advocate for science and all of that. I love me some Carl Sagan. I love me some Cosmos. Contact. I know Contact was his fiction book, but that book, that movie, I love them. It's like one of my comfort movies, which is weird. But yeah, it's my jam. At the same time, it is a bit of a dense read. And not dense, but I have to read it in sections so I can digest it, if that makes sense. Like, I want to sit with it and think about it a little bit, which I love that. I love a book that's engaging, all of that. But I read it, and then I was reading Fourth Wing. I finished Fourth Wing, so now I'm reading Iron Flame. I almost said Onyx Storm. No, I'm reading Iron Flame, the second book in the Empyrean series. And I'm probably about a third done with that now. We're getting close to where it breaks for part 2, if that makes sense to anyone who's read it. And this is the part of the book, this first part, I just get so angry at Lilith. Lilith Sorrengail, the heroine, Violet's mother, who's supposedly, like... Is she technically the commandant of the academy? But like, I understand. You have to be like, oh, Violet's my kiddo. Hands off. I know people might be a little rougher on her, but I can't show special treatment. There is a difference between special treatment and allowing your daughter to be tortured. I'm just saying, by people who are your aides. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, that makes me mad. But then, at the end of the book, I'm crying like a baby. I've read the book twice now. This will be the third read. My allergies have started up. I'm getting energetic, and now it makes the allergies flow. I've bawled my eyes out at the end twice now, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be crying at the third one. Anyway, that's that. I have not yet reread Onyx Storm, but I believe I am going to get to it before I finish the Carl Sagan book. So, oh my goodness, I have to go take some more allergy medicine. Love to you all. I will see you later.